Hey everybody, so another problem I wanted to go over is actually from your homework 4.5 number 81. There will be a problem like this probably on your final exam, and so maybe not quite this complicated, but something along these lines, and so I just wanted to make sure we go over it. So what it says is to find a rational function that satisfies the given conditions. So here's you've got to, if you need to go back into 4.5, in particular, you need to know how to find your asymptotes. And so if you look on page 269, okay, that's the rules to find a horizontal asymptote. And so that you might want to check that out like as you're watching this video, just so you can kind of follow along. But so on this problem it says that it has to have vertical asymptotes at x equals -4 and 5. So if we want to call it r of x because it's a rational function, you can call it f of x, it doesn't matter. But the vertical asymptotes come from the denominator. So if x equals -4 is a vertical asymptote, then x plus 4 is a factor of the denominator. So it's just like when we did the zeros in like 4.3 and 4.4, relating zeros to factors. And so if x equals -4 is a 0, then x plus 4 is a factor. And then x equals 5 is one of your asymptotes. So that means that x minus 5 is a factor of your denominator, okay? Now, I'll come back to the horizontal asymptote. I want to talk about the x-intercept. So the x-intercept is actually fairly simple also. That's where the numerator equals 0. So if the numerator is 0 at x equals -2, then x plus 2 is a factor of the numerator. Okay? So now, the horizontal asymptote. If you look at page 269, you've only got a couple of options. Either the horizontal asymptote is 0, or you divide the leading coefficients. Well, this is not 0. So the 3/2 is going to have to be the leading coefficients. So let's say I just put a 3 and a 2 in the front. But here's the problem. You divide the leading coefficients if the degree of the numerator is the same as the degree of the denominator. So remember, n has to equal d. The degree of the numerator equals the degree of the denominator. Well, with what I have right now, that's not true. The degree of the numerator is 1, the degree of the denominator is 2. So how do I make them the same? The simplest way to do that would be to just square the x plus 2. You can do other things if you want, but I think that would be the easiest, simplest way. So this would be an example of a rational function that has the vertical asymptotes, x equals -4 and 5, the x-intercept -2, and since the degrees are the same, if you divide the leading coefficients, y equals 3/2 would be the horizontal asymptote.